I'm the Fullmetal Narcissist, and there's a good chance you're going to see this guy at some point during the main review. Just pretend he is not there. I know it's going to be difficult. He's so cute. Mwah.
He loves playing with his pussy.
Yes, I do. I love AMV Hell. I've been keeping up with each release since way back in 2005. And just over a year ago, the 6th installment was released to a hungry audience, after an entire year of waiting. As with the earlier installments, AMV Hell 6 inspired me to try out a few new anime shows. But the one I was the most intrigued by was Blood Sea. Specifically, I'm referring to the clip that caught my eye, and it's this piece of badass right here.
You can't know what I'm thinking. Tired of you trying to rape me. Crush my confidence. Poke out my eye.
Since that was one of the most awesome things I'd ever seen in an anime, I decided to check out the source material. Now, as it turns out, Blood Sea is a member of the Blood franchise, which contains one awesome movie, one crappy live-action movie, and a 50-episode series I still haven't seen. It's on the list. The star of Blood Sea is Saya Kisaragi, who's a super popular, super pretty high school student by day and a cold-blooded monster slayer by night. She lives with her father and has 5 very loyal, very lively, very god-awful annoying friends. As the story goes on, the monster attacks begin to strike closer and closer to home, and Saya slowly begins to realize that there may be more to this situation than meets the eye. Now, Blood Sea was animated by a company called Production IG, which has been around since 1988. Taking a look back at their filmography, a lot of their work may look dated by today's standards, but there's no doubt that the majority of their shows were the best looking shows of their time. We're talking about shows like Blue Seed, Fooly Cooly, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, and most recently, Attack on Titan. They're known for bringing their A-game to most of their projects, and Blood Sea is no exception. Characters move fluidly, the fight scenes look awesome, and the artwork from Clamp looks equally inspired. But while Saya and the monsters she faces may look really good, it's her friends that make the art design look a bit awkward. Okay, at first the story is kind of a mixed bag. You have to deal with Saya's friends at school as they openly parody Clamp's notorious character design tropes. Although I wonder why they bothered, since they already did such a good job making fun of them in Holic. But on the other side of the coin, you have Saya's battles with the monsters, which is a plot seed that starts off with a lot of promise. You see her fighting one-on-one with some kind of gargoyle, which is a lot of fun to watch, but then you get to see her fight the very monster that drew me into the series, Eyeball Samurai. This is one of the best fights I've ever seen in an anime. I love it. It's staged well, it's paced well, it ends on a great note, and Saya actually managed to save some poor girl from being killed. She saves somebody's life. Now, why am I drawing so much attention to this? Well, spoiler alert! Let's not dance around this. Saya Kisaragi is my least favorite character of any anime ever. I hate her more than Sky God Enaru and Ash Ketchum. That girl she saved from Eyeball Samurai? That is the only character she managed to save in the entire series. I love her character design, but in a show that was already occasionally painful to watch, she is so ridiculously incompetent that she made the show physically painful to watch. She can go through some kind of transformation into a vampire badass, and she proves at one point that she can do it right at the beginning of a fight. Yeah, unless, of course, her class is being devoured, in which case she'll wait until only 3 of them are left to use it. Now, I really wish I were making that last part up, because halfway through the series, a giant monster attacks her full classroom. So what? Does she evacuate the room? Tell everyone to spread out and hide? Jump out the window to fight it outside? transform and save the day? No, she just sits there and lets everyone get slaughtered, while she snivels like a pansy. God forbid a hero takes some initiative in saving innocent civilians or her only friends in this tiny town. And despite the fact that her teacher is practically telegraphing the fact that she knows something about the attacks, Saya never asks. She never asks why her giant monster battles aren't attracting more attention either. For the love of God, I'd rather have Captain Hero try to save me than ever rely on her. If I were drowning, I'd have a better chance of being rescued by a pack of piranhas. This girl couldn't save a sandwich with a Ziploc bag!
Hey, Ginger, can you save me this sandwich with a Ziploc bag?
I'll admit that it's kind of cathartic seeing monsters devour her irritating friends, sometimes twice. But it doesn't take very long to see the real reason why she can't save any of them. The real reason why her power is so conveniently inconsistent. As good as this show looks, and as much promise as it shows early on, it's gore porn. It's not a horror title, it's not an action title, oh no, it's gore porn. The main character's credibility isn't important. The dialogue isn't important. The story isn't important. The villain's motivation is certainly not important. All that Blood-C cares about is delivering as much gore porn as possible. And if every other aspect of the show has to dumb itself down to accommodate this, then so be it.
Run, bitch! Run!
And you know what? I'll prove that it's gore porn by examining one of the most classic porn scenarios in existence. The serviceman. Now, in this scenario, a strapping young man shows up at the house of a lonely housewife, having been called over to perform some sort of service. He could be fixing some pipes, cleaning the pool, or even just delivering a pizza. For the sake of this review, we'll say he's there to fix the pipes, because double entendres. The scenario from this point can play out in any one of three ways. Either he fixes the pipes and she seduces him, or she seduces him while he's fixing the pipes, or he never even gets to the pipes and she just immediately seduces him. Whatever happens with the pipes, the result is the same. They will, ultimately, end up doing the nasty with each other. And that's all the audience cares about. They want to see the serviceman go to town on the housewife, and the broken pipes only exist to get him to her front door. Now, to compare this scenario to Blood-C, the monsters would be the servicemen. Their victims would be the housewife, and poor little Saya would be the broken pipes. The entire point of watching this show is to see human beings be eviscerated by giant monsters, and Saya exists solely as an excuse for bringing those two together. They attack because of her, and regardless of what she does, the end result is the same. We get our gore porn. Yes, I just narrowed down the biggest problem with this show. The main character is as important to the story and plot as the pipes are to a porno. Thus, this show is crap. That's not to say it doesn't try to be more than the sum of its bloody body parts. There's a metafictional scene near the end where the whole clamp making fun of itself idea comes full circle, but it's over so quickly that you can't really enjoy it. There's also some social commentary on mankind's relationship to the food chain, but the way it's delivered is just heavy-handed, tasteless, and an excuse for more gore porn. I don't mind gore porn. I will begrudgingly admit that I'm a fan of Elfen Lied, a show riddled with problems of its own. But at least there was more to Elfen Lied than its fetishy abuse of red paint. The only elements of Blood-C that had any real care or effort put into it was the art and animation, because they wanted better looking gore porn. Blood-C really doesn't have that much to offer. If you're looking for a gory anime that's centered around epic battles, you'd have a much better experience watching Berserk. It's kind of expensive, hard to find, but you can stream it. If you wanted to see giant monsters gobble up terrified people, you could just watch Attack on Titan. Netflix. If you wanted to see an anime that pokes fun at man as a dominant predator, you could get that and so much more out of Madoka Magica, which, like Attack on Titan, is also available on Netflix. But Blood Sea dumbed itself down so much to maximize the squicky blood fountains that it unintentionally created one of the least effective heroes in the history of fiction. It's hard to watch, and not in a good way, which is why I have no choice but to award Blood Sea with the dubious honor of a 3 out of 10. I'm the Fullmetal Narcissist, and you're welcome.